Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You movement. I am E. I'm really hoping, because there's a highway that runs right there, that it's not going to be too noisy in the background. But I'm going to just try, and if I have to edit it out, then so be it. I wanted to bring you with me on my hike, because it's a fucking gorgeous day. Oh my God, it is so nice. It's bordering on bliss, God damn it. This is, yeah, I wish that I could, I posted even on Facebook that I wish that somebody was around that I could go hiking with, because, but that's not my journey right now. My journey is to be alone. That's what Spirit wants, for my highest and greatest good. So I'm sucking it up like a big girl. Pull up those big girl pants! Today, on my little hike, you can see, where I'm staying, this B&B, is right on a hiking trail, that is like a massive hiking trail that, I don't know, at some point in my life, I kind of want to walk the whole fucking trail, backpack on and walk all the way from, I don't know how many days that would take. That would take a lot of days, and I certainly wouldn't want to do it in November, for risk of, but walk to a town, say, this looks like a nice town, take the backpack off and go find a B&B. That would be super cool. I want to do that. I'm going to add it to my bucket list. So I am. But for now, I'm just walking up and down, and I found this little nest. And give you the great view of the Grand River. Isn't it grand? Isn't it grand? It's grand indeed. Today, while I'm still in nowhere land, although it's a pretty nowhere. Nowhere's looking a little bit prettier and a little bit lighter today than it was yesterday, because the sun is shining. I went for a drive in my car. Do you remember that song? Go for a drive in your car. Maybe that was just me. Grew up to that song. So it's been a month. Of me driving now. And, I'm still chanting as I'm driving, but it's opening my reality to the fact that my life is completely and utterly changed. My life is totally changed. And it takes a little bit of time to integrate a new reality into our minds. So today's video, I wanted to talk about our minds, okay? I have said, and I hope it is the case, that before I die, I'm going to say 1 million times at least, that if you listen to anything, you need to start listening to your body and not your mind. Okay, this is a liar. So, first, on the topic of body, I gave myself a challenge because I didn't listen to my mind, who was, kicking me and beating me up and going, you should read more books and you should know more things and you should be more successful and you should. And I'm like, I'm melting. I listened to my body, and my body said the stay in bed challenge. So for anyone who joined me on the stay in bed challenge, kudos to you. And did you notice when you stayed in bed, even though your mind was trying to convince you this was you were doing something wrong, or this was something you should feel guilty about, or this was a permanent state of being and you're going to forever be in bed and oh my God, you're never going to accomplish anything? Did you notice when you give yourself the day, the 2 days, the 3 days even, or a week, a month, I don't care. When you listen to your body, eventually your body says, okay, I'm good now. I want to move. So today I got up and my body's like, let's go hiking. And I'm like, okay, great. That's how I'm running my life is, as my body communicates its needs to me, I'm going to give my body what it wants. And this whole awakening process has been learning to listen to my body and not listen to my mind. So what are we listening to, Well, first it was learning to not listen to anyone out there, especially the news. Turn that shit off. That's poison. And then I stopped listening to the experts. And then I started listening to my body, to me. So if I can give you one piece of advice that you choose to take with you, and that's the only thing you take with you, let it be this. Okay? Let it be this. Do not listen to anyone else. Do not listen to anyone else. Listen to your body. Listen to your body, okay? So listen to me. Don't listen to anyone else who's saying to you, listen to them. Listen to me when I say, listen to your body, or anyone else that says, listen to your body, and then listen to your body, because your body is the expert. Your body is your connection to the spiritual world, not some like, ooh, out there, away with the fairies, astral plane. Your body, your body, your body. Your body holds the answer. Your body is the vehicle. Your body is the way. Your body knows. Your body knows, man. But we've been like, in the age of reason, you know, I think, therefore I am. No. I am, therefore I think. We got it all ass backwards. Everything is ass backwards. The world is opposite, okay? Everything you were ever taught was good is bad and bad is good. It's all opposite. It's all opposite, okay? The reality is, despite us pushing away our animalistic nature, our body, our anima, our animus, despite rejecting it, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm going to push past your tiredness, and I'm going to like go to the gym and like go like this a million times, and I'm going to like deprive myself of foods because I'm going to like diet, and I'm going to override my tired. I'm going to override my emotions. I'm going to override everything. And then I'm going to wonder why I'm sick, and I'm going to go to the doctor, and I'm going to say, oh, expert, I'm going to listen to you. Tell me what to do. And then the expert goes, here, take these pharmaceuticals. They're not going to cure you, but they'll minimize your symptoms, you know. Oh, you have pain? Here, take this. It'll minimize your pain. Oh, you have a sugar imbalance? Here, take this. How about reduce the sugar in your bloodstream, and then you won't have a sugar imbalance? How about reduce the inflammation, and then you won't have all these fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, and every other condition? How about cure the candida? Has any doctor ever said to you anything about candida or doing a live blood cell test? No doctor did to me. Naturopath did. So yes, I started listening to my body and getting answers and seeking solutions from my body, because my body was fucked up. It was mangled. Because I wasn't listening to my body for over 45 years. I was abandoning myself, abandoning my body and my body's needs. Even though my body knew everything. Your body knows. Your body knows. Your body knows when you're in a bad relationship. Sex drive disappears? Yeah, that's because you were with the wrong partner. Your body is responding with anxiety every time you go to a workplace. You're at the wrong workplace. Like everything, absolutely everything. There isn't anything that your body doesn't know. Your body knows it all, and your mind knows dick. Okay. Worse, your mind has been hijacked. I think there was a time that, you know, maybe there was. Nope. I don't think there was a time where there was an actual age of reason. I think we use that terminology and we use that lingo. It is one thing that annoys me about humanity, is the misuse of words. As an autistic person, it really it drives me kind of crazy, because people will say words that they don't mean. It's only used as a manipulation, and they're used everywhere. You know, one of my favorite phrases is like open door policy. That's bullshit. I learned the hard way. I thought the door was an open door policy, so I could go and tell them the better way to like run the system. I got fired for that. Yeah, it's not an open door policy. You know, we care. We care. How many use that in their advertising? We care. No, you don't. You want my money. You don't care. You don't care about me. You want my money. Nutritious. Oh, there's a word that's misused all the time. And you know, painted with like nature on it, and it's got nice green tones, and some marketing advertising wizard has made you, you know, look and see this has a beautiful farm scene on it. Meanwhile, like the chickens are in this little farm going, ah, you know, climbing all over each other on top of like dead other chickens, and they're not happy. They're not happy. That's what? No, that's not happiness. And that's certainly not nutritious. So it's not. So there's a lot of things in society that we are told and our mind thinks. And in the awakening process, what happens is your mind melts. It totally and utterly melts. And that's to teach you to stop listening to that fucker. Okay? I view it now as like, have you seen those really cool TV shows where somebody hijacks like there's like a television studio, and then the baddies, like Team Dark, hijacks the television studio and like puts on their own, hello, we are going to expose all of the truths if you don't do this. We've hijacked this station and we've got all your emails and we're going to, like one of those like high suspenseful, that's kind of what happened to our mind. Our minds are these television stations or receiving stations that we receive energy and knowledge from the divine, but Team Dark hasn't really wanted that to happen. It doesn't want humanity to ascend. So let's hijack this channel and feed it all kinds of nonsense. And then we ourselves continue the process of feeding ourselves nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Thinking, and that's the problem, thinking that we're doing something good for ourselves when we're not. Because we've been misinformed. We've been indoctrinated. We've been in a state of la delusion land, all plugged into the matrix, and it's constant fear mongering and constant producing of misinformation. The fact of the reality is, if we look at humans' history, we look back and go, oh my God, how could we have thought those things? How could we have done those things? Like, look at our history in mental health. Like 50, 70 years ago, we were like performing lobotomies on people. They were probably having Kundalini awakenings, and that's why they were hearing things, So, oh, wait, we've got a shaman in the making here. We need to like take them out. 300 years ago, we would burn people at the stake. Because they had fundamental knowledge on how to heal the body using plant medicine. Destroy them! They're witches! We gotta get rid of them. Thousands of years ago, we were stoning people or crucifying them. Our own Lord and Savior. We crucified that dude because he was informing people of how to awaken, how to ascend. No, can't have that knowledge out. So if you look at human history and you don't look at what's happening in the world through the lens of a vacuum or a microscope, and you open yourself up, you go, geez, maybe what we're being told now is kind of wrong too. And maybe what we're going to know in 50 years is going to look back at this time period and think, geez, we were barbaric. We were doing what to humans? We were like, there was like a war on the sanctity of divine partnership. There was a war on the sanctity of family and dividing the family up. Like, family court isn't about, the best interest of the children. There's another line, best interest of the children. The best interest of the children is to have two parents co-parent in a complementary way that the child gets on, not to annihilate one financially in family court and then set each other like a war, divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide the two parts of the brain and conquer, divide and conquer the husband versus wife. You don't need to be married to raise a child well. If you're working together and you go through mediation and you work everything out, you can raise a child, in fact, even much better than if you were in a toxic environment where you're indoctrinating the child in soup of energy that's hostile and angry, and nobody's talking the truth. And the child who's probably gifted at this stage, because most children are that are coming awaken, now have so many more gifts. So they're energetically tuned in to what's really happening, and we're lying to them, going, everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's another bunch of malarkey. Fine. I love that word fine, because it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I was taught in college 3 decades ago that the real definition of fine is fucked up, irrational, neurotic, and emotional. Think about it. Every time you ask anybody if they're fine, how are you? Fine. And I go, I'm fine. You know, if they were truly fine, they'd probably say something like, I'm good, I'm great, I'm amazing, you know, but no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, so there's a misuse of the word again. So we have these thoughts that are programmed in. We use language that doesn't mean what we say. And then we wonder why everything is like completely fucked up. Fucked up. It's all kinds of fucked up. That's why I called this channel at the beginning the Unfucking Movement. And the first thing we need to do is unfuck ourselves. Save ourselves. Okay? We are their own savior, the Messiah. You want the second coming of Christ? I'm going to give you a little secret. It's you. It's you. It's all of us. Okay? We are the second coming of Christ. There is no person going to come down. That's you. The awakening is you awakening to Christ consciousness, which is very exciting. But our minds don't understand what's happening. So a lot of people, when they're going through an awakening, they start to open into Christ consciousness, and they go, I am Christ. I am. I am. And yes, you are, but so am I, and so is he, and so is she, and so is everybody else. But the mind holds on to this thought and misinterprets it. And our mind, through this awakening, is trying to grab on as much as it can to anything that's making sense. And so when we start to experience any number of weird things in our bodies and in our extrasensory bodies that aren't congruent to the way we were taught life was, we are desperate. Our minds are desperate to find answers. And so people grab on to a thought and they go, this must be truth. This must be truth. And on this awakening, we need to be careful, very, very careful of what we believe is truth according to the mind. You'll know truth in your body by how it feels. That's why we listen to our bodies. Intuitively, you know, gut instinct. Listen to your gut more than your mind. Your gut knows way more than your mind knows. Listen to your heart. Your heart knows. But this guy has been hijacked. Okay? This guy has been hijacked, and we're fed all kinds of misinformation, and we need to be very, very careful of where we obtain our information from. The experts and the people outside of ourselves that we give more power to than ourselves. You have to be very, very astute and aware and question everything. An inquiry into, is this thought true? Because if you just grab hold of it, you can go down a really dark path. Okay, a really, really dark path. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the horrible, dark stuff that I experienced, and it's my truth, and it's my experience, even if it sounds totally crazy. That's because it is totally crazy to the mind, but to the spirit understood, and my body understood things that I did not understand. Okay, so when I started down the path of having a Kundalini, I began having all kinds of weird body sensations as Kundalini is moving through the body. And there are so many symptoms that go along with a Kundalini awakening or even a spiritual awakening. Two different types of awakenings. Spiritual awakening being a little bit slower and a little bit steadier, and I was already on the spiritual awakening path, and then along came my Kundalini and it sped it up. Okay, it sped it up onto overdrive, and my body was not a pure vessel prepared at this speed. And this is the problem, is a lot of people have an awakening and they're completely and utterly unprepared. And so in this unprepared state where we're still relying on the old tools of thinking as our way to navigate the world, we get sucked down these rabbit holes of fear, of terror, of paranoia, of psychosis. So your body, my body was experiencing Kriyas. Okay. So when my awakening started, I was already experiencing Kriyas. I'm just doing it purposely, but you've seen me in other videos. My head wobbles like it being on those little dogs on the windshield of your car. Ooh, you know, and people would be like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I can't control it. It's just doing it. But had I know, like, listen, I already was aware that I was going through a spiritual awakening. So I wasn't seeking medical advice of why my head was doing this. Okay. Once I had the word Kriya as well, like, which is involuntary movements. And so you can involuntarily go into weird yoga poses. You can start doing mudras. And you're like, why am I doing this? It's because your body knows. Your body knows. Your body and Kundalini or soul is like directing your body to help clear things out. You might experience hot flashes, cold flashes. Oh my God, the temperature variations. You might experience dizziness, nausea. You might experience like weird tingles, electrical things that go run up and down your body. You might experience heart palpitations. You might experience all of the above. Okay, all of the above and more. Like, basically, if you're experiencing something weird and you're like, why am I experiencing this? It could very well be an ascension symptom. And so our mind goes, oh my God, I'm sick. There's something wrong with me. This is horrible. And goes down one path of thinking that there's something medically wrong with them. And so then you run off to the doctor, which I did many, many times. As I said, I was there with my laundry list of things and complaints. And the doctor was like, just take these medications and go away. Here's an SSRI. Shut up. You know, they should rename that the shut up medication, because that's what they're trying to get you to do, is just zone out and shut up. That's my opinion, and I'm sorry if other people want to disagree with me, but I think there's fundamentally something wrong with society when over 60% of the population is on pharmaceuticals. That's not healthy. That's not nature. That is not nature. So, you know, I'm questioning things, but people can go down other rabbit holes as well. You know, I had the heart palpitations, and I thought I was having a heart attack, and I went and had that checked out. I've had all kinds of sensations that I thought were mine, and they weren't. So I was having clairsentience. I experienced other people's hangovers. I've experienced other people's highs. That was interesting. I've experienced other people's kidney stone. I've experienced other people's rashes. I got my own rash, like sympathetic mirroring. Back pain, aches, headaches, this, that, and the other. Like, my poor cat has had bladder problems for the last 6 months, and so I'm drinking cranberry juice and keeping my own system clean, and because I can feel her pain. I literally can feel people's pain, right? But if I believe that everybody's pain is my pain, and then I go and I get a bladder test at the doctor's, a urine sample, and they're like, your urine's fine, but I'm experiencing pain. Here, have a pharmaceutical. I don't need a pharmaceutical. I am experiencing my cat's pain. How's that going to go over at a doctor's office? Then they're going to we need to put you on a different kind of pharmaceuticals. And then there's the people that have moved out of the medical system and have gotten into the fear of the medical system. And that can go down its own rabbit hole of oh my God, I need to build a bunker. I need to have 700 rolls of toilet paper in my house because there's going to be like a toilet paper shortage. I need to like stock up on weaponry. Oh, that's a really bad. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Please don't go down that rabbit hole. Especially, that's scary to me. That's really scary to me because you get into the paranoia with the brain, and then you're feeding it, and you're like handing people weaponry. That's very scary. That's conceptually scary to me because we can't trust our thoughts on a Kundalini awakening. And so people get into these paranoid thoughts that they are being targeted, that they are being hunted, that somebody is taking control of their body because they're experiencing weird body sensations and they've been implanted with things. And then they get paranoid and get like even more fear, when really it's Kundalini is moving around in there and pushing things out, and you're experiencing normal sensations on a Kundalini awakening, and you're feeding the fear, and that can lead to hospitalization because you're having absolute terror and panic and paranoia. And I've been there. I 100% been there, so I understand what it is. So on my awakening, after my Kundalini, the first time, and this is a brutal story, when that day I told you, okay, so it came to the point where I was embodied by soul, which scared the shit out of me because it felt like being like pushed out of my own body, an out of body experience. And that's when I all of a sudden had the empowerment, because Kundalini does not want you to stay in bad situations, okay? So it's trying to clear out your life one way or another. And so there I was, and I'm trying to get my ex out of the house, who's being stubborn, not leaving. And all of a sudden, I'm embodied by soul. Soul's like, I've had enough of this, okay? Your boundaries are being crossed, and we're doing something about this. And so you need to get the fuck out. You need to leave today. No more. You can come collect your stuff on Friday. You need to get out. Like, I mean, I was shocked, and I was panicked. And so he left, and he said to me after the fact, I think you were possessed. You must have been possessed. Now, the word possessed to me is a projection of his state of mind, not mine. I was embodied. Those are two different things. I was embodied by spirit trying to protect me from somebody who was trying to hurt me. And, but after the fact, after he finally left, I was like, trauma bond broken and collapsed. It overwhelmed my system. Okay, so on an emotional level, I felt like I was dying. Like it was like the worst thing ever. It wasn't like, yay, he's gone, I'm free. No, it was like, oh my God, what just happened? How did that happen? Oh my God, he's gone. He's been in my life. How am I gonna survive? Like panic. Like the panic I was having was like astronomical. And I didn't feel in control. And I didn't like not feeling in control. So I did what most normal people do, which is they call your doctor and say, I need a prescription. I need a prescription for lorazepam, because lorazepam is what they had given me in years past when I was feeling overly panicked and overly like terrified. And it was scary. I was scared because I was having a purge. I was releasing without knowing what was going on, because this is the beginning. This is at the beginning. I didn't have the experience to know now what I knew then, or the other way around. So I'm on the phone with my doctor's office trying to arrange for a prescription of lorazepam to like totally like zone out. And she asked me the question, and I was very stupid because I'm an autistic person and I always answer honestly when people ask me questions. She asked me the question, are you having any suicidal ideation? Which to me, I want to rename, because it's another word that's misused, or another phrase that's misused. I've always had suicidal ideation. Like, I'm like, I can't wait till this life is all over. I can't wait to return to my home planet and be like a ball of light jumping and dancing through the cosmos. Like, my life has been fucking hell. So Do I have thoughts of how nice it would be to be not here? All the time. All the time. Does that mean I have a plan? No, I do not. I am very against this. So I am. My entire channel has been to prevent other people from going down this path, because I know what it is to face the thoughts, again, the thinking mind saying to you, and you're going to have these thoughts when you're going through ego death of like, I'd rather be dead. I think I'm dying. What is happening? I think I should die. So because we don't have a system that allows you to communicate words as they are meant to be used, and instead are distorted or stigmatized, unbeknownst to me, this nurse called for a wellness check, and an ambulance and a police car arrived at my house when all I wanted, I was fine. Okay. Was I having panic? Was I having like absolute panic attacks and like terrified because I had just broken up with this trauma bond situation? Absolutely. Was I at risk to myself? I was not. I was not. And I'm angry. This is one of the things that gets me very angry and why I get vocal about this shit now. So because I didn't understand with my autism that you're not allowed to speak honestly and openly with people without them misinterpreting what you're saying, and I thought that we could have an open conversation about, yes, I'm questioning the meaning of life, and yes, I'm questioning my own place in the life and my own annihilation as I'm going through ego death, but I don't have the lingo, and obviously that was not a safe person to have a conversation with, because next thing I know, I'm being taken against my will to the hospital, and that just made me worse. It made me a million times worse. I wanted a medication that was going to calm my nervous system, that was having panic attacks, and instead I was sent to a hospital and put in this small little area where a police officer stared me down for about 5 hours. How the fuck is that supposed to relax me? How about holding my hand or offering me a cup of tea or giving me a goddamn lorazepam, which is what I knew I needed? Or like anything would have been better than what I got. And then the next thing I know, the doctors made the decision that you're going to be held for 3 days. And they put me in a room. Here I am, a middle-aged woman of absolutely no risk to herself. And I said that multiple times. And they put me in a room with a mattress on the floor. A mattress on the floor. And then had a bunch of psychiatrists come in, a group of them, and wondered why I was agitated. Why are you agitated? So I am doing everything humanly possible to control my breathing, control my anger, control my frustration, control my panic, control my anxiety, control my fear, as I'm being looked at by people that have absolutely zero empathy whatsoever. And so I began walking the room, and they're like, you're doing erratic behavior. And I said, I'm trying to calm my nervous system. You have me in a room. You haven't provided me with anything to calm me down. And I'm exceptionally upset. Am I allowed to be upset? Apparently I was not. So they held me for 3 days against my will. And upon my release, I called a shaman woman. And okay, so backing up. 3 days before I had my explosive, get the fuck out of my house. 3 days before, I did sacred medicines. And after I did sacred medicines, I was specifically told, do not make any major life choices in the next 15 days. You are in a profound integration phase. And so I'm sure 3 days later, I was not supposed to be going, I get the fuck out of my house, and making major life decisions. So when I give warnings about sacred medicines, it's because my personal experience, and I will go on with that, my personal experience has said to me, don't mess with this shit. Okay? Maybe at a time 30 years ago, or when you're not having a Kundalini awakening, sacred medicines are very useful. Absolutely. 110%. Would I say to somebody who's not awakening, who's trying to quit cigarettes, that cannabis might be a useful medicine as a stepping stone to getting off? Sure, yeah, go for it. But once you've had a Kundalini, you've changed the game. The game has been changed. Your sensitivities have been gone from like level 1 to level 101. And so anything energetically, which includes anything you consume, is going to be a much more intense experience. And it can lead to some crazy shit. So no, I don't recommend that people who are in a Kundalini awakening, on a twin flame journey, or deep in the throes of dark night of the soul, consume plant medicine to try to speed things along, because what it might do is speed psychosis along. Okay? Kundalini wants you to be sober. It's not about what I want. It's not about what you want. It's what Kundalini wants. And Kundalini wants you to be sober so that it can clear you out and detoxify you and break these patterns. So 3 days before, I do sacred medicines in a shaman's. And so I get out of the hospital, I call her, and I'm like, you need to come pick me up and sort me out, because I'm into this mess because of you. She drove me home and checked on me routinely after that, as I spent the next couple of days like totally like, freaking out. And so what do I go into? Because I'm a stubborn so-and-so. I'm having such severe PTSD now because of my experience with the hospital. So the hospital provided me with PTSD that I didn't have prior to that. I had panic, but I didn't have, that gave me severe PTSD. So I looked around at holistic approaches to dealing with PTSD, and I found more sacred medicines. And I'm like, well, I'm going to try these sacred medicines. And so what did I go and do? Probably about a month after I got out of the hospital, I went and did Cambo and Bufo and at a retreat. Now, if you don't know these medicines, Cambo is what's the word? It's just the stuff off of the frog. There's a word that I'm missing. It's just, they scrape the frog in this very specific frog in the Peruvian jungle that has absolutely no adrenal system because it has no enemies. Nothing could eat it. And they collect the compounds off of this frog. And then what they do is they burn you at different locations in your body. So this isn't ayahuasca, which is like the grandmother of medicines. This is like the niece. It's not as strong, it's not as powerful, but I'm already like, I'm not going to go for the strong one. I just had this, I'll go, okay, it's okay. I'm going to do this Cambo. So what they do is they burn you. And so depending on where you're having blockage, so I think it was anxiety. I think it was on my stomach they did, or maybe it was my lower back. I can't remember the first time. They burn you, and then they put this compound on top of the burn. So it's like a superficial wound, and they put the compound on top of the burn, and it causes this like heat and detoxification process to go through you, and you vomit or release another way, and energy. So I go off, and I'm like one of the new spiritual cool kids, and I go off to this retreat, and I do Cambo, and the first time I do Cambo, it blows open my channels, blows open, and I am screaming in light language, aka talking in tongues. I am like embodied by ancestral energy, something I'm clearing, a past life that I'm clearing, and the me that is me, or the me that was me, is having this out-of-body experience again, and is scared out of my fucking mind. Like, it wasn't cool to me. It wasn't, like, nifty, and that's so, oh, wow, that's so magical. It was not. It was scary as fuck. And so my mind, my me, that was me, is like, what is happening to me? Because everybody was out like, that's so cool. Wow, yeah, that's amazing. Did you, like, love it? And I'm like, Sure. Yeah. I did not love it. I didn't know what was happening. My mind was like trying to make sense of some. The next up was Bufo. And Bufo is a sacred toad medicine that I don't know where the toad comes from. Sorry. And you inhale this. And I died. I died. I inhaled this stuff and I died. And then I was back again. But I wasn't back as me. I was back as a motherfucking panther. I'm like, I am a panther. I was like, I was full on fucking panther channeling more energies that I don't know how to deal with. I don't know what's going on. What the fuck is happening? I am a goddamn panther. Or jaguar. Sorry, it was jaguar. Panther, jaguar. I don't know. Are they different? And then I'm channeling and speaking in tongues again. More ancestral energies coming out of me. And so then I go home after this weekend and I'm like, what is real? What is happening? I don't know what's happening. My mind was open to spiritual happenstances that I was not prepared for. I was not at all prepared for. And so these healers kept saying to me, you know, what you need to do is have more. You need to have more because you need to clear out whatever this is. Because like now my PTSD is even worse. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I'm smoking my cannabis to try to keep me calm, which is a balanced blend, more plant medicine. And then I do Cambo one more time. And then the fall comes around and I'm still not seeing any improvements. And I'm still like this. And now my mother's died. And now I'm in a legal battle. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like my mind is melting. And I don't know what's happening because my body is experiencing all kinds of sensations that I don't know what those sensations are. And it feels like I'm being remote controlled. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening to me? So I start looking for answers in all the wrong places, which is absolutely the worst thing you can do. Absolutely the worst thing you can do is you go down these rabbit holes where you find communities of people that are finding explanations for what's happening to you, not based on truth. But you believe them because you think that they're experts and they know things. And so then I started really getting paranoid. Really getting paranoid. So what did I do? Because I'm stupid, I decide I need to try a different sacred medicine and helpfully clear this out. So I find another shaman that does work with DMT. Okay, so this is like the God particle part of your brain that is opened up. And so I go have this incredibly amazing sound bath experience on DMT. And I'm like, whoa, this is the trippiest, nicest thing ever. And in that moment, I experience incredible bliss that lasts for about 3 days. And they say, warning, this can cause severe depression when you're done. And I'm like, I'm trying to get out of the depression. They're like, make sure you take these vitamins and stuff like that and be gentle on yourself. So the 3 days pass and then shit gets fucked up. Like, so fucked up. Between my experience of being in the hospital already with that crazy PTSD inducing experience and whatever I opened myself to doing these sacred medicines. And this is the thing, is as I say, we are a channel to spirit, which means we open ourselves wide open, and that means we are opening ourselves not just to love and light and Archangel Michael, but we are opening ourselves to all kinds of crazy fucking shit. Dark entities, souls that have not gone to the light. And so I start experiencing at this point sheer terror. Sheer terror. And I'm going down this rabbit hole of sheer terror and experiencing things that I, I'm still speechless about. And I don't know what's happening. My mind doesn't have the information or the knowledge to process through all of the openings of my divine openings that are happening, these gifts that are coming online. And so my mind starts feeding me misinformation. My own mind gets hijacked and starts feeding me misinformation on what is happening to me. On top of that, because I had opened myself so wide, and this is another reason why I warn people about doing sacred medicines, is, we don't live in a time where we have shamans that have been on a shaman's initiation and have been doing their work since they were 9 years of age, called in, and had to face their own darkness. No, we have a lot of self-made shamans that took a 3-week course, that called themselves a shaman and called themselves capable of dealing with sacred medicines without the know-how or their own cleared. They needed to be clear. Okay, when you go to a shaman or a Reiki practitioner or an energy worker or anyone that hasn't done their own healing work, they are carrying their own negative energies inside of them. And it's just like lice, that when you are working on a client and you open that client up, that it's like lice. They jump into you. So what I didn't know was, one of this woman, her mother had passed away. And her mother was with her. Her mother had not gone into the light. And her mother was like, oh, open channel? Somebody that I can speak through? Yeah, jumping on in. So for a period of time, I had this soul in me, with me, terrifying me, because she had her own fears and confusions. And it took me about 4 months to figure out that I was carrying with me an entity or a soul that was not mine. And how I figured it out, because at this point I'm in hyper observer all the time, okay? And how I figured it out was, I kept being woken up in the middle of the night when her daughter was crying and in need. And all of a sudden I'd see her online. I'm like, are you okay? No, I'm crying. And I'm like, I know you are. So her mother wanted me to watch over her and protect her, but I didn't know what was happening because nobody gave me a manual, and I didn't, other than watching that television show with Jennifer Love Hewitt, I did know nothing about departed souls, and nor did I want to. That was not something I signed on for or asked for, especially in the state that I was. But Kundalini, a shaman's initiation, means you need to learn this shit the hard way. So it came to a point where I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of me and go into the light now. There was no love and light and off you go. I'm like, I'm opening a portal, and I'm like, go. And she's like, I'll go if you promise to look after my daughter. And I'm like, yes, go. I was as angry as I was with trying to get my ex-husband out of the house, is getting this woman out of me. And then after that, I'm like, great. Now I talk to dead people. This is not what I wanted. I wanted to do Reiki and just love and right. And, So in that 4-month window, when I have an entity in me, okay, and God knows what else in me that's hijacking, because they jumped in with this wide open channel, door wide open, wondering why there's negative stuff happening. They also, my radio station, okay, so I am a receiver, okay, I'm like a cell tower. We're all like cell towers, and our spine goes up to the pituitary, not the pituitary, so the pituitary gland. Yes, the pituitary gland. And that's like the little ball at the top of your antenna that's like pulls in information from the divine, all the messages that we get. Only when you're wide open and you haven't figured out how to maintain your energy and how to like clear your energy and how to shield your energy and how to like be empowered in your energy, and you're swimming in a soup of fear, Team Dark is like, hey, this is fun. Let's really fuck with this woman now. So I have this soul in me. I'm being like attacked, spiritual warfare up the wazoo. And then I get this confession. All at the same time, I get the confession to end all confessions that split my head open even wider from my ex informing me of the truth of everything. So, and as I said, again, I had been like channeling Archangel Michael, good energy, extracted a written confession. Like, that's insane. Like, somebody goes their entire life keeping this a secret and then like confesses it via text message with names. Like, what? So yes, then but my brain can't handle it. Okay, I got this going on. I got a terrifying fear of medical doctors now. I'm certainly not going to go to them asking for help at all. I am like beyond frightened and terrified, not knowing, got dark energy. I'm in my room, in my bed, days, months on end, praying. Like, I'm blaring chant music that I found by Meditative Mind, which is like Aham Brahmasmi, and I'm chanting, I'm praying, I'm begging. I am begging. I'm not standing in my power as a light worker. I'm like pummeled down, praying, dear God, help me, dear God, help me. 12 solid hours more. Dear God, help me. Dear God, help me. Dear God, help me. As I'm trying to navigate through this, and the mind goes, let's fuck with her something fierce. And so I then went down a terrifying rabbit hole that I know others have gone down, of thinking that I was being targeted, that the CIA must have planted something in me because I don't have any other explanation of what's going on. And now I'm hearing shit. And I was terrified. It was like, I was just absolutely terrified. And in my terror, I didn't know if my husband was trying to murder me. I thought that was a distinct possibility. And I was scared out of my mind. And I tried to hold it all in, but I lost it. I lost it, and my son was there to observe me losing it. And I'm like, I think they're trying to kill me. The pain in my mouth was at level like 15 out of 10. And I'm like, I think they've got something in my tooth and they're burning me on purpose. And I don't know what's happening and if this is true. And I don't know what's going on. And my son's like, I don't know what to do. 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 And of course he doesn't know what to do, because who knows what to do when somebody's in a psychosis. And so he calls an ambulance. Now, I have nothing but empathy for my son. He did the only thing he knew how to do, because we didn't have protocols in place of what to do in case of this situation happen again. After the fact, we did. After the fact, I had, in case of emergency, this is the protocols that you follow. And we set up systems, and that's why I do my channel, is because I want to be able to set up systems so people can like get the help that they need, which means staying in my room, writing on my wall, I am safe. You know, this is when I like discovered the works of Peter Levine and understanding emotional flashbacks and the releases, which is also going on. You know, so I'm also having like trauma releases and going into child mind and remembering being sexually abused as a child and having all these other like insane experiences where I'm channeling other people's stuff from all over the world. All over the world. And I'm like, is this mine? Is this theirs? Did this happen to me? Did this happen to them? Is this a spirit again? Like, what is happening? Because the me was disintegrating and the collective was unifying. The collective field that I was all tapped into, and people are finding me from all over the world, and I know what's going on in their reality, and I'm like, I can't tell them that. I know that. What? And I'm healing other people's stuff, and I'm like, I can't tell people this. I'm having these spontaneous healings that are scary as crap, that have me having more of these out of body experiences. So just back up a little. My son called the hospital, and the same crew, which scared me even more, the same crew showed up and took me to the hospital. Only this time, I knew not to say anything. I just kept saying, I'm having heart pain, but I'm okay. I'm having heart pain, but I'm okay. I'm having heart pain, but I'm okay. And they put me in this small little room in the back, an observation room, where nobody was there except there was a small little room with a gurney and a camera. And they do testing on me, on my heart, and every test they do, I'm terrified. I am absolutely terrified. After they did the x-ray, so they had injected me with something and took my blood, and then I started hearing. I started hearing on auto repeat because my mind is trying to make sense of this. And I've got an open channel, which means Team Dark can hijack and get in. I start hearing on repeat, worship my husband's name. Worship my husband's name. Worship my husband's name. For 8 solid hours. For 8 solid hours, I heard worship. And I'm like, oh my God, they're trying to brainwash me. They're trying to brainwash me so that I worship him again. And I don't know if this is spirit who's trying to warn me, but I'm like, stay an observer, stay fine. So I sat for 8 hours in this room, practicing breath work, breathing, praying, dear God, help me. Dear God, help me. Archangel Michael, please protect me. Please protect me. Shield me. Shield me. Shield me. Meanwhile, hearing an audio recording saying worship. By the time I got out, and as I said, my ex was very good at hoovering me, was his mission. He came to collect me from the hospital when they released me after 8 hours because they couldn't hold me because I kept saying that I'm fine. I'm fine, even though I was the least fine I've ever been in my entire life. I was the least fine. But I knew that the last place I wanted to be was on a mattress in a floor with a team of psychiatrists looking at me and treating me like I was insane when I wasn't insane. I was having a spiritual experience of stuff they would know nothing about. At least now I knew I was having a Kundalini. At least now I knew that there was a lot of spiritual stuff happening to me that I couldn't explain and I didn't understand. So I certainly wasn't going to expect somebody outside of myself to understand anything. So thinking that, not knowing, I'm like, is this person somebody I trust? Is this person somebody I don't trust? I don't know what's happening with this person. I don't know about what's happening. Is this brought on by psychosis because I've consumed cannabis? Scared, smart. I quit cannabis on the spot. On the spot. And just in case the cannabis had anything to do with exacerbating what I was experiencing. And I'm thinking it's likely that it did exacerbate or open me wider. When I get home, he leans in and gives me a hug and starts kissing me, which I thought was really weird. I'm like, we're not together. Why are you kissing me? This is gross. And I hear then imprinting. You want terror? Okay, terror. Okay, terror. It took me another 4 months to clear the negative energies, entities out of me, to make sense of what was happening in my reality, to clear this departed soul that into the light, this woman's mother, into the light, to regulate. Well, no, to regulate my nervous system has taken me years. I'm still regulating that guy. But to like bring myself to a place of like, what is happening? I can tell you that since I quit the marijuana, I've never once heard anything since. Since I've cut him off, I've never had any interference, or a lot of the weird stuff stopped. So it did. And you know, that was a process. The detoxification from a narcissistic person, and listen, I no longer believe a narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder. I believe it is 100% possession. It is somebody that has cracked their selves open as a young child due to trauma, whatever traumas happened to them or my mother or anyone else. It cracks them open, and then this opening is like, sloop, I'm gonna just slide on in here. These dark energies, and it's a collective because they all play the same tricks, they all do the same thing, and they all support each other. So Team Dark is alive and well in your family, in your friends, in the people that you know that are acting erratically, projecting weird shit at you. You know, always listen to what people say, because that's a confession. And I had to learn that. Oh, you're confessing. So when he said to me, I think you were possessed. Oh, you're possessed. As well as the fact that I did a lot of energetic clearing work on him, involuntary. It was not my choice, but Spirit was like, made some sort of agreement that when he confessed, I would clear some shit for him. So there was a lot of days in those 4 months that he was in my company and I was doing full energetic clearings, like shamanistic clearings. How do I know how to do shamanistic clearings? Because the channel was open and Spirit was embodying me. Embodying my body. Not my mind. My mind was booted out of my body, terrified, going, what the fuck is happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? You know, I was very, very, very scared. Terror. Paranoia. PTSD. That year was the worst year of my life. Like, the worst year of my life. And what it has taught me in my recovery, and now I am, 2 years? I think we're coming up on 2 years. Yes, 2 years. It's taken me 2 years to get to this place where I am today, where I am empowered enough to manage my energy, clear my energy, block my energy, tell energies to fuck off. There's no spiritual like, oh, I love you, get out, no, get the fuck out, not today, Satan, standing in my power and shouting off this shit that still tries, and how it tries is through the thoughts, through the mind. So I am warning people that you need to stop listening to your mind and you need to start listening to your body, because your mind is no longer a pure vessel. That the collective consciousness has been infiltrated by negative energies and negative thought forms. So a thought form is a negative energy, right? So you think intrusive thoughts and you're like, where did this thought come from? I should be dead. That's an intrusive thought. Where did that come from? I'm not safe. They're going to rob from me. He's staring at me weird. There must be targeting me. this, that, the other. The world is horrible. Everything's going to go. We need to stop listening to this because it's no longer a pure source. Okay. You will know when you get downloads from like claircognizance, you will know when you are being given divine information because of how it feels in your body. And if it feels like fear, that's not from the divine. If it feels like fear, that you know is a hijacked message. It is not a clean, divine source message. It is an infiltration, an intrusive thought, a thought that's telling you, you know, you're not good enough, you're unlovable, you're unworthy, you're a fuck up, you're a failure, you're not successful, you're... All of those thoughts, okay, are not your thoughts. They're not you. They're not you. It's like subliminal messaging through a divine channel that's been hijacked. That's where intrusive thoughts are coming in. And it's been hijacked in front of you by people who also have been hijacked. And so you're not even talking to the essence of that person, right? Like I used to always see the divine essence in my ex. I like the what he could be, right? Because that's one of my gifts. Is like when I see people, I see their source essence. I see their soul. And I'm like, oh my God. And I love that. And then they behave in a way that's like not in alignment with their soul. And I'm like, what? Why did you say that? Why did you do that? Because it's not them either. It is not them. And you're like, okay, you don't go and roll around with dogs that have fleas. You don't go and like rub your head all nuzzled up against somebody who has lice. They've got energetic fleas, lice, energies, entities, vampirish energy. You get the fuck away is what you do. And you'll be like, I hope they figure their shit out. I'm going to give this to God, is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to forgive myself for not seeing it, for not understanding it, because I had no tools or no explanation or no knowledge. I was taught my brain knew everything and my body was to be ignored. I was taught that experts have more information than me. I was taught everything is opposite. I was taught everything. I was taught I was like disempowered and that the power lived outside of me somewhere. That there were experts, there were gurus, there were like people that knew me better than me. Topsy-turvy, flip it upside down, shove that shit away and like bring to the new level of consciousness, the consciousness that is your body. In touch with the body. If fear is what is invading your body, the negative energy that is fear, that has been living in your body, not just for this lifetime. And that's what makes it even more fucked up, because our mind doesn't understand past lives. It understands this one. And then you're having like a persecution memory come forth, because we all have that memory of being persecuted. Maybe you were persecuted and chased into a lifetime into the desert. Maybe you know that one. Maybe you were in Auschwitz. Maybe you were, if not you, your ancestors. So that's a memory. Maybe you were burned at the stake. Maybe you were put into an insane asylum and given a lobotomy, and now you have a terrifying fear of doctors. And you're like, I don't trust them. Maybe, you were crucified. If collective consciousness is Christ consciousness, then we all have that memory. So there is a persecution imprint that we need to clear out of us energetically so that we can reprogram our nervous system to understand that it's actually safe. My body is safe. My body is safe sitting here on this log next to this river with the sunshine there and the trees. My body is safe. And you will have to practice. This is a practice. And it's not like a once in a blue moon practice like piano lessons. It's like an every 10 minutes, every minute sometime, the repetition. Every time there is an intrusive thought, I am safe. I am safe in my body here and now. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. It's not about denying that there is a team dark or that there is darkness in us, all of us. That is our shadow. That is darkness that we have carried from imprints of past lives and this life's traumas and all the shadowy shit that we hide away. That is negative energies that we need to purge out of ourselves. So it's not about demonizing it, okay? You know, let's not demonize this experience of the shadow. It's about, the shadow is teaching us to stand in our own power so that we can be powerful. Our nervous system can feel safe in this world. And when we feel safe, it cultivates more power and more energy that is the light. We are clearing out the dark. So we are dehumidifiers. That's what we are, okay? We are dehumidifiers or air filtration systems that we are purging through the negative energies and clearing them out through every tear, through all the sweat, through the urine, through the snot, through the vomit, through the defecation. We are clearing the negative energies. We are the cleaning system. So it's very vitally important that our cleaning system, our bodies, are put into an environment where they're not overloaded. They can only clear at so much rate before they're going to get like clogged up. And so if you're staying in and around others, family, friends, job placements, romantic relationships, and romantic relationships, talk about an exchange of energy. Ew, gross. Like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies now to like even think about all, not only the fluids that are being exchanged, but the energies that are being exchanged, which means all their shadowy shit. It's like, I'll take that on for you. I'll clean that for you. And in marriages, it's like, I'll filter that for you. Oh, the same problem keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, that's because the empath is trying to clear the energy of their partner, and their partner's like, I'm good. Why would I try to do anything when you're doing it all for me? And so this cycle of empaths needing as an initiation, as part of their soul's growth, is escaping from these energies. And then once you escape from these energies, detoxifying. And that's why we're put into isolation for as long as we are, is we're detoxifying so we don't get back into them and overload our system. Like, you want to be overloaded. Look at my body. I was 130 pounds, way too fat. Obese. That is obese. Because my system couldn't clear it. But once I got my system into an environment where it could like begin to process through the excess and clear out the negative shit that was all clogging me up, like a really gunky, messy system, like you gotta clean these systems. No different, like I'd clean out my Hoover the other day because there's hairs all in it and it's all junked up with stuff, and I'm like, okay, gotta wash this and clean it out. We gotta wash this and clean it out is what we need to do. We need to put ourselves into a healthy environment, and then we need to clean our systems by eating properly and cleaning all the energies that are inside us that, you know, we can't just blame others. We can't. Candida is its own, like, hijacked of your system. I said this the other day, you know, if you are craving sugar and carbohydrates all the time, you have a candida problem. I will put money on it. And I'm not even a gambling person, but I will put money on it. And if you want to prove me wrong, okay, then what I'm going to suggest you do with all your sugar cravings is go get some live blood cell testing and look at your own blood And let's see what organisms are inside of you that are hijacking your intelligence of your gut. Your brain is in your gut. Your brain is in your gut. Your gut knows. That's why people say, oh, I got a bad feeling in my stomach about this. Because your gut knows. So go get some live blood cell testing. If you're overweight, if you're craving sugar and the carbs, and if you're doing these things, and then when you get your blood work back and they're like, yeah, your body is fighting fungus and your body is fighting candida and you've got an overgrowth, then you're like, oh my God, my consciousness is being hijacked from within. And I'm like, ew, gross. It made it very easy to quit sugar. When I realized that I wasn't feeding myself, I was feeding an organism that was feeding off of me. Parasitical energy. Yuck. Parasites. Ugh. I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit outside of me, and I don't want that shit inside of me, and I certainly don't want that shit in here. Okay? Thought forms are parasitic energy. Parasitic energy that are making you doubt yourself, doubt your safety, increasing your PTSD symptoms, increasing your anxiety symptoms, increasing your... Clear it all out. Clear out the body. Clear out the mind. I am safe. I am safe here and now. I am safe here and now. I am safe. I am a powerful being of light. I am a powerful being of light. I can trust because this process has put me through fucking hell. I can trust that the light always wins. The light always wins. All of this has been my lessons that I needed to learn so that I could become a shaman. Like a true shaman goes through all the layers of hell. They die multiple times over. And if you want more information on a shaman's initiation, I highly recommend the book, The Stormy Search for Self. I'm reading some other texts right now because the more information I get, the more it soothes the mind that I'm not going insane. What is actually happening is a spiritual awakening. The process of purification through Kundalini, and to set my soul up to be empowered to utilize my soul's gifts, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairvoyance. Not so much that I see things the way other people do. I wish I did. I don't see things like that. Instead, I see mini movies. I have clair knowings. Like, I just know shit. I have the telepathy. I hear you. I hear you. And the clairvoyance, clairaudience, the clair smells. I don't like those. There is a word for that, but yeah, I have like the most crazy sense of smell on the planet. So all of these get like, you need to learn to use them. You need to become a master in your gifts, which means mastery over your body, mastery over your emotions, which doesn't mean repressing them. It means purging them. I can sit through this purge of this fear. I can sit and observe myself crying in this grief. I can release this pain. I can emote. That is mastery over emotions, okay? Unlike other people that are like, you've got to master over your emotions, as in repress them or push them away. That's not mastery. That's bypassing. That's the exact opposite of mastery, is saying, I'm just not going to feel this. How is that mastery? Mastery means I'm going to be a spiritual warrior and I'm going to walk myself onto the dojo and I'm going to go, hello, departed soul. I am now going to learn how to shove you into the light. Be on your merry way. Hello, parasitic energy. I am going to learn how to see you. I see you. I am no longer in cognitive dissonance. My eye is wide open. I see you, and I walk away from you. I walk away from you. I use my discernment to get my body somewhere safe. I see you. Once you see, you cannot unsee. And so that is its own lesson. Its own, thank you. Thank you, narcissistic person with weird energy inside of you. It's not my job to clear you, heal you, fix you. It's my job to see you and get the fuck away from you. Hello, negative energies inside my gut called Candida. It's my job to beat you. So, my son loves those video games, and that's what this is like. We are our own little guy in the video game, and we have to fight all our challengers that come in one after another, and get mastery over them, mastery over the thoughts, which means to recognize that these thoughts aren't pure. These thoughts aren't truth. These thoughts are causing me more problem now than before. Now I need to rely on my sensory system, and I need to rely on regulating my body. Mastery over the body, mastery over your environment, mastery over your emotions, allowing them to flow, mastery over the mind, okay? Mastery over that. Mastery over our spiritual gifts. Mastery over all these fucked up situations that come in to test us. Hello, test. Hello, test. Each test I get stronger. Each test I get more powerful. Each test I get more discerning. Each test I get more enlightened. Each test is for my highest and greatest good. Each test is bringing me into my mastery. I am grateful for these tests, even though I don't like them. I don't like them. They're not pleasant. They're not pleasant. But they are there for our greatest good. Mastery over the void. Understanding humility and service. If you are on a shaman's initiation, which I think you probably are, otherwise you wouldn't be resonating with my channel, okay? So that means that your soul is prepping you through all this mastery to become a teacher, to become a guide, to become a way shower, to become a healer, to become something, okay? But in that becoming something, it is surrendering to soul. You are in charge of this mission. It'll happen in divine time. Surrendering to God, the universe, spirit, whatever you want to language use. Surrender, surrender, surrender. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender some more. And that is mastery. And so the void where we're in right now is learn patience. This is our lesson in patience. This is our lesson in being as opposed to doing. This is our lesson in getting the ego to sit down. Sit down and wait for your instructions. It's not that ego is bad and we don't need ego. We 100% need ego. We need ego, especially empaths. Empaths have a depletion in ego. Narcissistic energy has an abundance of ego, and empaths have a depletion of ego. We need a healthy level, the middle, bring those two energies together, collapse that paradigm, and sit in your own energy of a healthy ego, which says, I'm not tolerating things. I'm doing my own thing. And that is an absolutely necessity so that we can be empowered. The empath needs to become more empowered, and the narcissistic person needs to heal and clear and get rid of all their icky energies and do their work. And whether that be through ayahuasca, maybe that'll help. Maybe that will help. There's this rumor out there. Again, be careful about listening to experts, because all the experts say there's no cure for narcissism. But this is a spiritual war. This isn't a psychological war. Although there are psychological warfare used, this is a spiritual war. And you better be sure God can heal anything. absolutely anything. If somebody has a spark of the divine in them, they can heal. It's going to take fucking work. It's not going to be easy. And maybe they're going to have to go through the hard path that and follow in similar circumstances, learn some lessons the hard way. You know, in this situation, I would almost say if somebody is so totally gunked up with energy, then doing sacred medicines that require purging physically might actually work. So it's not that I say don't do sacred medicines. I say warning, warning. If you do it, be prepared for massive shifts that may be very painful, very difficult, and very dark. Be prepared. It's not always like a happy mushroom trip. Like, I can remember doing magic mushrooms 30 years ago, and I was like, yay, I just want to get naked, and I want to run through the forest. Sure, if it was a trip like that, who wouldn't want to get naked and run through the forest? Absolutely. But if you're like, oh my God, what is happening? I'm being attacked by dark energies, not realizing that that is probably dark energies that are coming to purge out of you, that you need to get mastery over, it's not going to be a fun trip. Might be useful, but it won't be fun, you know? So I hope this answers the question that I have been asked lately about, you know, what to do when others outside of us are trying to hurt us. Well, if somebody is actually physically trying to hurt you, like they have a knife in your vicinity, get the fuck away. If you can, obviously. Get yourself somewhere safe and keep to your own. Stick to yourself and train your body. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. He can't get me here. He can't hurt me. You know, like I was totally worried that like somebody was going to try to hurt me. Nobody came a knocking. Nobody came a knocking. And it came to the point energetically where I was getting so fucking pissed off with this negative entity warfare that I'm like taunting them. I'm like, if you want to fucking get me, come to my goddamn door and knock me out. Because like, you've been taunting me now for 2 solid years and I'm still here. I'm still here. So obviously you're just taunting me. You're just taunting me. Remind your body that you are safe. Every single day, 10 times a day, 100 million times a day. You are safe, you are safe, you are safe. Whatever energy you are processing to is processing through. It will not last. You are purging. If you are having thoughts, intrusive thoughts, that are making you think things that are the most terrifying things ever, reach out. Reach out, send me off an email. I've worked with a lot of clients that have like gone down the rabbit hole that I have gone down. And it does take some time, but you can right yourself. There is a thing called sacred madness, okay? And it is, if you read about Kundalini awakenings and you study shamanistic initiations, that is one of the layers of hell that you will have to face. But you can get through it. The tools that I used in the worst of my worst, as I said, a lot of affirmations all over my wall. I am safe. Written 100 million times. This too shall pass. Repeated. I used and love mantras. Okay? My own mantras, and I've made meditations with B mantras to help you process through difficult emotions and difficult purges. Check out the Meditations with B playlist. Otherwise, listen to soothing music. You can listen to like EMDR. I found a great one at 40 beats a minute that goes dong, 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 dong. That one's great for anxiety and helping you rest. It's got like native flute music in the background. There are tools and techniques that you can use while you're in a state of crisis that can help you get through the crisis. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. And if that means going out into your backyard and setting up a nest, which I did more days than I can count, and lying on the ground and holding on for dear fucking life and praying, dear God, help see me through. help see me through. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Dear God, please protect me. Until you get to the place where you realize you can protect yourself. You are powerful. I am safe. Wait a second, I'm safe? Yeah, you're safe. You mean the light's going to win? Yeah, the light's going to win. It already has. You mean everything's working out in my highest and greatest good? Yeah, everything's working out in your highest and greatest good. You mean good shit's going to come? Yep, good shit's going to come. You mean this is all helping me get into my own power? These are just lessons, trials, warrior missions? Yeah. And now I'm a super strong warrior of light? Yeah. All right. Oh, wait a second. I still have to stay humble? Yeah. You still have to stay humble. So today's a super long video, one that I've been nervous to do in the past to talk about, but I think it's necessary information, especially if somebody is starting to go down a dark place. Okay? Please, peace in here. Peace. The war, the spiritual war, is taking place in here. And you're going to win. Because you are light. And the light always wins. Peace in.